Hi guys, welcome to the new version of SoccerScanner. SoccerScanner's been around for about 15 months now, and over that time I've added lots of things, I've removed some things, I've changed lots of things, but I got to a point where it just couldn't go any further without changing fundamentally the way that it works. So what I've done is rewritten it from the ground up. It's now a lot smoother, it's a lot faster. What it's actually doing now is only updating individual statistics rather than updating the whole line. So it's very, very smooth in the way that it works. You can see if I scroll up and down, there isn't a great deal of games on at the moment, but you can see it's relatively quick and it's updating all the time in the background. You can also see, you can access the pages from here rather than scrolling around to the bottom. So I've tried to make it as neat and as tidy and as smooth as I possibly can. So let's have a look at what's new. So, because when you look at it, first of all, it doesn't look like anything's changed. It looks exactly the same as the old SoccerScanner, and that was one of the things I wanted to achieve, was to make it look exactly the same. So, on day one, whatever you're used to using it and trading on, you can still use it and trade. Day two, what you can actually do is you can configure the way that it looks, and that will definitely help with your trading, because you'll be able to see different statistics on the screen and you'll be able to configure it how you want to do. So first things first, the top menus have disappeared. Okay, what that means is you've actually got a lot more games on the screen at any one time. Okay, if you remember, there was an old drop down menu here, and when you invoked that, you probably went down to 2 or 3 games on the screen. So that's been removed and that's been replaced by a right mouse click. Okay, and you'll see this a lot across all of the pages in SoccerScanner going forward. The right mouse click will help you and give you a number of options. And once you get used to it, it's really quick and it's really intuitive. So if I right click anywhere on the screen, a menu appears and you should see the familiar menu options that you're used to from the old SoccerScanner. So we probably haven't got any top leagues, probably haven't got any my games on, but let's just, if I go and select a few games here, right click, my selected games, hey presto, there they are. So it's nice and quick, smooth. Want to reset it back, right click, remove all filters. So it's really, really quick and easy in the way that it works. And as I say, once you get used to it, it's really intuitive. So what have we got in there? Top leagues, my games, default filters. So they're the same ones that you saw on the old SoccerScanner. And then you got my filters. So these are my individual filters that I've set. And they just get brought in here as they did as a button in the old one. Okay, you've got last 5, 10 and 20 minutes. So you can see we've got last 10 minutes up here. Just click on last 5 and it changes instantly. Okay, again, really nice and smooth and quick. So we'll leave that on last 5 minutes for the time being. What else have we got? We've got dark mode, which I really like. I think it looks really, really good and very easy to read. We can go back to light mode. And finally, copy. Something that somebody asked for the other week and I'd never thought about before was the ability to copy the team names into the clipboard so you can paste them into your bookmakers or your exchange site. So, if we want this top row, let's just say we right click on the top row and we just say copy. And that will copy those 2 team names into the clipboard. And if I use the search button at the top here and just do a paste, you can see it's copied them. Okay, so just a minor thing, but it will help you when you're, swapping from this site to a bookmaker's site. So that's the main change when you look at it. As I say, I've tried to make it look and feel exactly as it did previously. So if you're used to using it, only changes, right mouse button, no different to anything else. If you want to configure it and you want to get more out of SoccerScanner, then you can start to use the columns button on the right hand side. So the columns button, when I click it, folds out, and what you can see in here is a list of all of the fields that we've currently got on the screen. Okay, so you've got Ap1, Ap2, possession, blah, blah, blah. All of those are ticked. Now, you also got a number of fields which are not ticked. Live odds, starting odds, average of a first half goal, average of a second half goal. No prizes for guessing. If you untick one, it disappears, and if you click a new one, it does appear. So let's say your particular trading style, you don't really care about attacks. If I just untick this button, what you'll see is the attacks has actually disappeared. Okay, and maybe you want to replace that with something else. So maybe you want to put the live odds in there. Okay, so this Turkey game, we don't have any live odds, but you can see immediately all of the other odds are in there, and they will update the same as any other field in SoccerScanner. The thing I really like, and I've been playing with this a lot, is you can add in the average of a first half goal and the average of a second half goal. So I click on first half goal, it appears, and you can see those averages. Okay, and if I click on second half goal, you can see those averages. Okay, now interesting, what you'll see is I've now got a scroll bar because I've added more fields. When I built the original SoccerScanner, the one thing I really wanted was everything to fit on one page. I didn't want you scrolling left and right. You now have the ability to add extra fields, which will of course mean you can scroll left and right. So what I've done on the desktop version is I've locked these first 3 fields. So what you'll see is when I scroll, the data in the middle changes, but these 3 fields stay as they are. And that's really, really useful. So when you're looking at a game and you're having to scroll across to look at the last 5 minutes data or whatever you want, you've still got visibility of these. Now the mobile version of the scanner has all of this functionality. The only thing it doesn't have these 3 pinned fields. And the reason for that is when I pinned these 3 fields, all I could see was one other column, and it wasn't particularly helpful. Everything else you can do, and I'm showing you today, you can now do on the mobile version. Rather than a right click, just press and hold on the screen and you'll get the right pop-up menu. So you've got those pinned, you can scroll left and right, and you can now add as much data as you want. You can also reorder the columns into any order that you want. So let's just say, red cards are an important part of your trading and you'd like them to be more visible. You just left click on the icon, drag it to wherever you want it. So let's just say we want it in there and leave go. And it's as simple as that. So you can reorder this, you can put it in any order that you want, you can add extra data, you can take data out. It's entirely up to you. But you can configure this now to anywhere that you want that suits your trading style. And you can change it on the fly. Very easy just to move things around how you want to do them. Okay, if you're set and you've decided that you like the way you've got it set up, click on the settings menu, and in here you can save your column settings, and that will save it as it is. And if you log in on any device, be it this machine, another machine, your mobile, it will be configured exactly how you've left it. So you again set it up how you want it, save it, and it's there every time you want to use it. If you feel you want to go back to the original one, you can always do a reset, and you can see those columns have disappeared and the red cards have gone back where they were, and you could save that as well if you particularly wanted to. Okay, so you've seen there that we can add extra columns, you've seen there that we can do pinning. All of those things should help you in your trading because it's giving you visibility now, not only to live data, but it's giving you visibility to historical data as well. And combining the two of those is really powerful when you're starting to look for, strategies and goals. If I, click back on that first half goal, you can see here, 78%, we've already had a first half goal in that game. There's an 82, we've already had a shot on target. If I would be looking at that to see whether there's anything on there. One other interesting thing that I've added is an Ap1 graph. So attacking pressure 1, which you can put by putting your mouse over there, you can now have that graph permanently on the screen. I'm personally not a fan of it, but some of you asked for it, so I've added it in there. The red dotted line, by the way, is 55, and that I feel that anything over 55, there's a chance of a goal. So you can see these games have just kicked off. We haven't got much of a graph. You can see these games up here, much more of a graph. And potentially, if you don't like the pop-ups, which some of you don't, you could now turn off AP1 and AP2. So you've now got no pop-ups on your screen. It's a lot smoother when you're scrolling around. It's entirely up to you how you configure it, and obviously remember to save those settings. The other thing that a lot of you, let me turn that graph off because I'm not a big fan. The other thing that a lot of you asked for is the ability to sort. Okay, so we want to sort by the games with the most shots on target. We want to sort by the games with the most corners. By default, it doesn't work. And the reason for that is the same as the old SoccerScanner, that the games are categorized by the league that they're in. Okay, so any sort isn't going to work unless we remove that grouping. Okay, because all it's going to do is sort within there. So to do that, we use our right click button again, and this time we use our grouping menu. And from the grouping menu, we can remove the groups and allow us sorting. If I remove the groups, what you'll see is we get a much flatter structure. Okay, and you can actually fit more games on the screen in this way. If the league name is important to you, you can of course add it onto there. Now you will see that you've got some duplicates in there, but that's just the way that it is but you will get a lot more games on the screen doing this way. Now that we've got a flat structure, the sorts will work. So if I just click on shots on target once, what you'll see is an arrow's appeared, and the game at the top is now the game with the most shots on target. Now, historically, that's going to be the game that's the furthest on. But you will see some shocks in there where you will see, quite high. Look at this game here in Uzbekistan Women's League. The home team have had 4 shots on target. The away team have had 1 and scored. So it will highlight various things. Click it again, and it will order it in the other way. So you will have the ones with the least shots on target. Click it a third time, goes back to its default sort. And you can do that on any of these columns. So if we were interested in dangerous attacks, click it once, and what it's doing is it's cumulatively adding these together. So it's adding those 2 together. That's the greatest total. That goes to the top of the list. That's the greatest total. That's the greatest total. Click it again, we get the least. Click it again, we go back, and you can see there that nice red banner when a goal is scored as well. That was handy. And was that one of our high? No, it wasn't. We still haven't had a game in our high first half goal. Okay, so that's a real positive, is that you can now sort. So you can change it however you want. You could move the league if you wanted. You can even sort by the league if you want, just the same as you can with any others. And of course, if you like that setting and you prefer it to the grouped games, which some of you will do, you can save those settings, and again they'll be restored next time you go in to SoccerScanner. So you've got the ability here to really configure it and change it and work it how you want. The only other thing to show you is we've got filters in here, so you can filter on a particular home score, and the values that are in here are the values that are on the scanner at the moment. So what you will find is there is no 2 in there, and that's purely because there's no games where the home team has scored 2 goals. So you can use that to filter. The functionality is there if you want. My preference isn't to do that. I much prefer using the sorts and finding things in that way. But when there's a lot of games on a Saturday afternoon, maybe you do that. If you're looking for games 0-0 at half time, you're much better using the default filters and looking at draw. All those games that are 0-0. So you've got the ability to configure it and set it up how you want. Key thing to take away and to remember, right mouse click. Right mouse click is key to everything, and as I say, you will see that more and more. If you start going into the stats, you'll see the ability to be able to export the stats to Excel by using the right mouse click. So that's the key takeaway. Lots of other nice little features in there. The columns is really powerful. The fact that you've got these pinned columns here and you can scroll and they will retain them, again, really powerful. The fact you can reorder into any order you want. So, if you want your first half goal over there, just drag it and drop it. Make sure you save your changes. Okay, so there's a lot of time and effort gone into this. I'm really pleased with the way that it works and how smooth it is, and it's much quicker updating than it was previously. Hope you enjoy using it. Hope it helps you trading. As always, any questions, any problems, send me an email. More than happy to help. Thank you all very much for your time.